is Demo Donna here. Thank you so much for joining me. In this video, I am going to be showing you how to create the Tipi card. I do have some of these kits available still. The link is below, as well as all of the dimensions for the card base in this fabulous video. And thank you so much for watching. I love reading your comments or questions below, so feel free to type away and enjoy. All right, everybody, here is everything that you receive in your kit, as well as the stamp sayings. So you have 2 birds, enough for 2 cards. I'm going to create one of those cards, so we are going to put away half of our items right now and set those aside for our second card. And some of these, like for instance, you get the Velcro, and you also have the pearls, so those will be split up between each of the sets. So I'm going to take some of my music notes here. And then we also have the glass glitter, and if that's something you're not comfortable playing with, there's just a little sample in here. So you can opt out of using it and use another bronze glitter or a transparent glitter. I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And what we're first going to do is work on the base of our card. Oh, I did want to mention that the stamp and die sets that I'm using are from Pink and Maine, the Sweet Birds dies, and I used this little guy right here. I did not use its legs or its eyeballs. And then the Sweet Birds Sentiment stamp set. And I gave you a variety of different stamp sets to choose from, stamp sayings. So you can go ahead and pick something different if you don't want to use the singing you a birthday melody stamp set that I used on my original sample. So back to the drawing board. To get started, you are going to take your 3 cardstock bases, the white. And I did put all of the dimensions for each of these squares that I have pre-cut for you in the description. And I would love to see you guys recreate this card using some other fun colored cardstocks. That would be awesome. All right, so what we're gonna do right now is create this white card base. And as you can see, I've got my 3 white squares right here, 1, 2, and 3. So you can, of course, like I always say, you can of course score your paper. I'm just simply going to fold each piece, each square in half. So that is my first square, folded in half. My second square, there we go. And I kind of just pretend my fingernails are a little bone folder. And then that third square, go ahead and fold it in half. Once you create this really fun fold, you can see how fun and easy to use, and you're going to want to do it again and again and again. Okay, so I'm taking my 2 squares that I've folded. I've got the diagonal lines meeting at a point. So you want to make sure it's not like this. You want to make sure that you now have a larger triangle when you're looking at those folds. And I'm just going to put my 2 cards together, and I'm going to grab this one here. And this is going to act like a support brace between the 2 of these. So you are going to take that folded triangle here, and now I'm going to go ahead and apply some adhesive to this. Now, one thing to keep in mind is I don't want to go all the way down because this piece is going to be sticking out. So my adhesive is going to go pretty much from this point forward. And I'm just making tiny little scratches, kind of just as my guide. You can even use a pencil and erase it. And I'm going to just take some Easy Tear tape, also a Pink and Maine product, and I'm going to grab 2 pieces of that. And I am going to add those to the back here. And I'm just doing this just for a little extra added support. I do like to double up on my adhesives, especially when it is a card that has some fun movement to it, like this one. All right, now that I have that back there, I'm going to remove all the backing. There we go. And then I am going to go ahead and apply some wet adhesive. Some white craft glue will do. And remember, we don't want to go under that little line there. So I am just going around the edges here. Filling that in. And now I have this first one. So just to make it easy to place my glue down. Add that on there. Make sure that's still able to fold. You don't want to cover up that fold. All right, and then my second one. And this is why you want to put adhesive over your tape, so you still have the flexibility of moving it around if you need to. Okay, again, make sure you could still fold those in. And you can already see the base of my teepee. So I'm just gonna come up here and make sure that is nice and glued down. And that's why I went all the way up to the edges. I do have a little lifting happening. So I'm just gonna come in here and just apply a very little bit of glue just to ensure that that's not popping up. There we go. Give that a little extra pressure. And now there is your card base. It's those 3 squares folded in half diagonally and then glued together, which is really fun. Okay, next what we're gonna do is pull out your paper cutter, and we are gonna be cutting everything in half. So I am gonna take my favorite paper cutter, the Caterpillar. And as you guys know, if you use my code Donna when you purchase yourself any Caterpillar products, you receive 15% off, which is pretty awesome. So that's really nice of them to offer all of my fabulous students such a great discount. Okay, so with each square, we are gonna put 1 point at one end, 1 point another end, and actually I wanna start at the top with my cut. So start over. We're gonna cut diagonally. So there's my first one. Cut that in half. My second one, if you don't have a paper cutter that you love for this, you can always use an X-Acto knife and a ruler. You can always cut if you want to. This to me is just the quickest and easiest way to cut all my paper pieces. All right. And then these 2 little guys. So there is my first one, point to point. There you go. And then my second one, this is the tiniest one, 1 inch by 1 inch. And there we go. I have now cut everything in half diagonally, and I am done with my paper cutter. And now we are just gonna glue all these guys where they go. So I'm gonna first take these 4 pieces here, and they go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those get glued on first. Well, let's do that. And I am making sure I'm going to my edges just so you don't have any lifting. So there's my first one. And this is a little bit smaller than your base, so you're gonna center it, and you got about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So that is my first guy there. My second one. There we go. Center them. Great. 2 more to go. Add that adhesive to your edges. There we go. And then last one of our larger teal pieces. And then we're going to do the same thing again with our designer paper. Okay, so knowing the orientation of how your card is going to sit, actually, why don't we finish up with these 2 smaller ones down here? I like that. Let's do all the teal at the same time. All right, so this one goes here. And this one goes here, my last spot. Very fun, very relaxing, putting all the pieces together to your puzzle. Okay, so now you have an idea of how this is gonna sit. So when you're putting on these next pieces, your decorative paper, and if you really wanna be particular, if there's some writing on them, everyone's paper varies, but you can go ahead and make sure it is straight up. So if I put this piece here, this writing is upside down. So if I put that here, it's sideways. So I can put this guy here, and then the writing is right side up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And again, your stuff's kind of, it's a very decorative paper, so it's not like it has writing on it that's gonna be read by the person that receives this card. It's more like a nice background. But if you have something that has something more specific and intentional on it, you could just get into the habit of making sure it's going the correct way. Okay, so this is the match to that square. There we go. Those 2 pieces. And then we are gonna put these ones on. So again, the writing, this is going to be the top here, is going to be the top of our card. So if I were to put it this way, the writing would be facing to the ground. So again, I'm just gonna make sure it's the correct orientation. Again, not super important, but if you recreate this card, now you're just in the habit of paying attention. All right, and then my last piece of the larger decorative paper squares, or designer paper. And I am just going to take that right there. And then these 2 little guys down here. Not a lot of options, so I'm just gonna put them on there. We'll go that one right there. And this one right here. And there is our really beautiful and fun card base. And you could see, you can recreate this And that could be the base of all your great cards. And again, travels nice and flat and fits in an A2 envelope. So those are the really exciting features about this card base. Now, looking at where you want your design element to be, I have seen samples where they use the entire front, so basically both flaps for the design element. A Christmas tree would be really pretty, which was my son's idea when he saw this. He said, ooh, that would be a cool Christmas tree card, which I thought was brilliant. I didn't even think about it. And I decided for this card to just use one of the panels for my front, and I wanted it to be that one right here. So that's what we're going to be designing. So I'm going to open up my card, my little sample, lay it out, and now I know that everything is going to be going right here on this piece. So you can see I have my sample here, and we are going to be designing on this piece right here. First, we are going to go ahead and put together our adorable little songbird, and I just cut everything out in this beautiful red paper for you. And we are just going to start with the chest of the bird. And I do get gorgeous cardinals at my house, and I know they have additional colors in them. So this was just a fun cardinal silhouette, but if you want to go crazy and add a little bit more black to your cardinal, you can. Whatever makes you happy. All right. And I didn't do the feet because I wanted our bird to be perched. You can do that tail sticking out a little bit more. You can do your tail going down. Here's another design element for our bird head. And I'm just gonna line it up with that piece there. There we go. And last but not least, our cute little birdie wing. I'm just gonna place it right about there. And you can always bend it up for a little added dimension. I am going to look for my black pen, which is always hiding on me. I'm just gonna go, nope, I'm just gonna use a ballpoint pen. I'm gonna go crazy. And I'm just gonna draw a little black eyeball. You can obviously always stick a little black pearl, but I just did a little black eyeball. I started when I designed this to add in the eyeballs that come with this kit, but they're just so tiny. I just thought for timing, it would be fun to just do just a little black dot. And then we're just taking our white gel pen. You can also find this over at pinkandmane.com. I'm gonna even do a couple little specks on his chest. Follow that design element. So I just went ahead and just did some fun little detailing with my jelly roll pen. All right, next what we're gonna do is we are gonna put our card together. So you can go ahead and pick out what you wanna use for your saying. I think for this one, I might do Thinking of You. And I said we were done with our paper cutter. You can actually hand cut these with your scissors, but to keep them nice and straight, I'm gonna take my Thinking of You, turn on that light feature so I can see exactly where I'm going. And now I've got a Thinking of You. There we go. And I am gonna add that right here. And am I gonna leave those on? I think I'm gonna trim my little ends off. One. Ooh, you could have even cut, you know, the whole banner ends at the end, but too late. 1 and 2. My hands are all gluey, so you know we've had a good day at the office. Okay, we are gonna glue this guy down. Of course, you can add some dimensional adhesive if you want to pop that up. And I'm gonna kind of put it more towards the bottom, so just that little hint of teal is sticking out. And now I've got my thinking of you. Next, I'm gonna take my branch, and I glued my branch on before I put on the actual glass glitter. Glass glitter, you know what I mean. Okay, and I wanna set this down. I'm gonna have it kind of hanging off this a little bit, but you're not gonna see it because you're gonna glue your bird. So I'm gonna go up here. That is not true. I'm flipping this guy over. That's why I covered it up. So I'm flipping it over so I have the branch detail at the bottom of the card, like so. And that is how we're gluing that guy on. And that is why we're covering him up with some glitter glue, because this is the back side of the die. Okay, flip that guy over. And now I'm gonna go ahead and place him on my card. And you could trim this off if you want, or you can leave it on. It really doesn't matter because we're gonna cover it up. So if yours is sticking out a lot and you wanna trim it, go for it. If not, it's all good. Okay, and I am going to layer these two guys. So my two smaller teal poinsettias, I am going to double up. There we go. And then the two larger ones, one of them I am going to fold in half. I know, crazy, because we are going to use that under our little bird here. And I am going to take my adhesive and glue that down on top of it. So you might need to hold it for a second. There we go. That is one of the flowers. And then I'm going to take my second one and do the same thing. So I'm going to pop that open again, add some adhesive, bend that in half, and hold that down for a second. Let that dry. Don't glue it to yourself. Okay, and now I have two half flowers, and I am gonna glue my first one down right about here where I'm gonna place my bird. So I am going just wet adhesive all over, and I'm gonna put it right about, so I do like a little bit of it going on to my seine to add a little layering. So I'm gonna push that down right there. My next one is gonna go right about here. So let's glue that up. And we're gonna go right about there. You could scoot that in if you wanna make sure it's in your card frame here. And then this guy's gonna go on top, and it's going to, now that that's dried a little bit, we can curl up some of those leaves or petals. Add your adhesive, and I'm gonna put that right about there. Push that down, let that guy dry a little bit. All right, moving right along. So before I glue these embellishments on, the next thing I am gonna do, should we stick our bird on? Oh, I am gonna trim that just a little bit. There we go. Don't trim your card. I might even trim off this piece. All right, there we go. Mine was sticking out a little bit, but it's okay if it's sticking out too. On my sample, it's popping out of the bottom a little bit as well. That works for me. Okay, I am now going to, knowing I'm just doing my glass glitter up here, I'm going to do my glass glitter next. So I'm going to take my coffee filter, and I'm going to take my craft glue, and I am just going to go over my branches. So I am just applying some glitter. If it gets a little messy, it's okay if you go off of your branch, because the glass glitter is a chunky glitter. So it is not going to be a perfect straight line either, because it's not a fine glitter. And you know what, since this is sticking out a little bit, we're gonna glitter that up. Okay, I'm gonna take my little sample here, open that up, and then I'm gonna start where I started with my glue, because it dries pretty quickly. And I'm gonna take my little finger tool here and tap that. Okay, any extra spots you see are white adhesive. Luckily there, if you miss a couple spots, the glue, your white craft glue will dry clear and it's brown underneath, so you won't be able to see any real missing spots. Okay, I'm just gonna give this a little shake and then a little tap. And then there we have it. Really cool, chunky element, kind of fun, something different. I have probably about 10 different colors of glass glitter, and I love it. It's just something different. I've even used these in actual canvas art pieces. So put it back in your bag. You have enough for your second card as well. And now we are going to glue our bird on. So my bird is gonna drop right into this section here. So I'm gonna apply a good amount of glue just so my bird doesn't fly away. So I'm gonna hold this up, and as I push him down, I'm kind of moving the glue down with me. All right, push that on there. Make sure your cute little birdie is nice and secure. Now, the fun part, you could take 2 of your larger pearls for the center of your flowers. And since these are flat pearls with your strings, I just go close to all of my little strings and kind of trim that off. Or if you have other flat adhesive pearls you want to use, go for it. Again, because this is a nice thick embellishment, I put a lot of glue. And then same with this one. Trim off my little pieces here. But I really like the look of this card, of the layers, a little bit more mixed media vibe with the glass glitter. Squish that guy down. And then you have your fun little border. So with the row of pearls under your stamp saying. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and gently trim off. I have some of these. Make sure you don't cut them apart, or you can if you want to add, if you don't want to add a, so I'm gonna fold these so I can get these pieces. There we go. You can absolutely separate them if you don't want a border. Cut that guy there. Okay, now I'm going to place that in my hand, add some glue drops. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna center it thinking of you. And I did cut my saying really short, so I'm gonna make sure you can kind of see my G. You can even push it to one side if you want, but it's not centered, and I'm okay with that because, like I said, it's more of like a mixed media vibe with this card. It's not, you know, super picky. And I've got my music notes, which are really fun. I'm gonna do one here, and I'm gonna do this one down here. Just another fun added little embellishment to my card. And then the last but not least is just take, oh yeah, we also have our, I'm just taking that lovely white gel pen again and just adding some fun elements to my flowers here. I was trying to do like a snowy look and wanted to do another added component in the kit, but I liked the way the gel pen turned out, so that was it. Sold. Okay, don't push too hard because you still have your glass glitter glue drying. And there we go. Okay, to apply, oh, we also have these guys. Okay, so you get 4 of these. These are from HAI Supply. Love them. Where are they? Here we go. These are our beautiful flat back rhinestones in that really pretty ruby color. And I am gonna stick just 2 of them, just another little added red pop. I'm gonna do one there and one here. Take my fabulous pickup tool, available at Pink and Main. There we go, 1 and 2. And then for your Velcro, I'm just gonna stick my 4 pieces together, just like so. You're only gonna be using 2. I just gave you extra because I ordered a lifetime supply. So I am going to squish those together really well. I'm gonna take the backing off of one side first. It really doesn't matter which side you use. Remember, your glue is still wet on your branch there, so just be careful with that. And I'm gonna put my Velcro piece right here. So I'm gonna take that and give that a good push. Now I am pulling the backing off right here. There we go. Now I'm going to take my lovely fold and then push that down. Give that a really good push to make sure that adhesive is nice and secure. And now you have an awesome, there we go, like open, buddy. An awesome little Velcro clasp. You could write your message on the inside here where all my little glue fingerprints are. You can even add another saying if you'd like to the inside of your card, which will be fun. Add it on the top here, whatever makes you happy. And then when they receive that card, they could place that up and put it on display because you worked so hard on it. And then to ship it, like I said, you just go nice and flat, and that fits in an A2 envelope. So again, with this kit, you get to create 2 cards. So you will end up with 2 beautiful Tipi cards, birthday Tipi cards. Thank you guys so much for watching me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you would like to purchase this kit to create these cards and follow along with this video, the link to the Etsy kit is available right below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Bye-bye.